Hello everyone, I'm Emanuele Biggi from Italy. I'm a professional macro and conservation photographer. I normally focus on amphibians, reptiles, arthropods, and for doing this type of photography, I normally rely on macro lenses and flashes and diffusers, as you know. This time I wanted to share you some of my equipment when flashes are concerned, and I wanted to share my setup since when I started to increase the quality of the light of my flashes. So normally when you do macro, you normally use flashes like these ones, and they are very portable, but they are intended normally, as when you buy them, to be used on a ring attached to the lens in the front of the camera like this. And when I bought them, I didn't buy the ring because with the Godox MF12, you can do more thing than that, of course. For example, I bought a cage, a classic, like the small rig cage, you name it. There's plenty of them now. And this is the Godox X3 Commander, by the way. I'm using this one at the moment because it's very tiny and portable, and it has a touch screen, but it didn't bother me even under the rain. No problems using that. As you can see, I don't have any bracket or something like this on this camera right now. And this is the way I like, because when I put the camera away in the backpack for traveling or for moving from a point A to point B, I don't like to have much things attached to the camera, so it's fast to go in and back from the backpack, of course. And this is way useful when you are under the rain, under the stuff. So normally I pack the camera right like this without the trigger, of course. And then when I arrive on the field, I put the trigger, and I take these ones. These are two brackets that I dismounted from the DMM 903S bracket system from PhotoPro. I can put a link below where you can purchase that. I built another thing. I bought this small rig monitor attachment for the cold show. When you film things, you know that kind of brackets, adapters, moving parts. And I like this one because it has this knob, so you can open and stiffen these movements, so you can take it very hard and not moving, of course. And I attach them on the cage. Sorry, my English is not perfect, so if you have any question later, you can write me, and for more specific questions, of course. When I talk is not perfect. When I write is better, but when I talk it's... So this is my setup, normal setup for macro. And I have these two brackets that I can move even far away from my camera. Normally they are a little bit loose now because I don't have my screw at the moment, but I can give you the perception. No? As you can see, I can move them pretty far away from the camera, and they can hold the flashes. I put the attachment of the flashes here, so I can, oops, sorry, this is a loose, as I told you. And normally it works very, very fine. This is very helpful when you need to photograph larger subject, like a snake, something that is bigger than a classic insect and stuff like this. And this is another reason why I love them, because I can have a ring light from the back and another one on the front. This is why I like using the twin flashes, the two flashes. This is the main reason I continue to use them, even if there are other stuff, other gear that I will show you in a moment that I'm using now since a few weeks, let's say. But these are my preferred setup as a rule. If I only have to take something, I will take them. But I don't normally use them in this way, raw, with a raw flash and stuff like this. It's very, very rare that I use them like this. Instead, over each flash, I customize these diffusers. This is no brand. It's a Taika brand. It doesn't exist anymore. You cannot find them anymore in the web. They were nice because they have these very strong angles, very strong edges, so they don't collapse when you mount them on the flash. So I really appreciate them, and I don't find them anymore. So I had to repair the front, and I put some diffusing plastic instead of the material that was in the original diffuser. So I attached them with some dual lock attachment that I, of course, I glued to the flashes. And I have this larger diffuser. This is mandatory if you need a better light, of course. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to film this video today, because I wanted to show you different kind of diffuse light with macro and flashes. So this is my setup normally, and I like it very much because I can even use just one above the camera like this, or two flashes like this in the classic way, from front, and then another. Sorry, okay, this is better. Another, I can put these, as I told you before, on the. Sorry, this is very loose today, but I'm out of home and I cannot stiffen it. So I can put it like this. So I have a rim light from let's think about the subject being here. I can have one flash from behind as a rim light, and the main flash, let's call it main flash, on the front. So this is another way. It's very useful to use this flash. Or if I need it, I can even take one of them and hold it in my hands and put it wherever I want, of course. If I just need one of those, I can just dismount one of the brackets, so it's lighter to carry around. Okay, say that. Normally, in these latest days, let's say, many people, many colleagues of mine, many friends of mine, they also use this kind of, let me show you, this kind of diffusers. I have the more famous, is a good friend of mine also, from Brendan's Cygnus Tech diffuser. This is the, let's call it the original one, of course, but there are many brands around now that are doing kind of very good stuff. Along with the Cygnus Tech, we can see the AK diffusers, you name them. There are many around, even custom made by people around. This is a strange brand. I found it in Amazon. This is called Guage macrophotography diffusers, and there are various models depending on the lens you're using, like a Cygnus-Tech or the AK diffuser. I kind of like the Cygnus-Tech diffuser for its portability. The Cygnus-Tech fold in a blink of an eye, and you pack it in the backpack, and then when you're ready, you take it off and mount it on the flash in a blink of an eye as well, and you use it. But it lacks some of the features that AK and Guage has, like the under diffuser. So some people I know that use the Cygnus-Tech also carry along with the other hand a white reflective panel to have some light from below. But of course, the portability over the usability and light, you can decide about that, of course. I bought this one. Actually, I had this as a gift from my father-in-law, my parents-in-law. And this is kind of nice. I used that in Costa Rica lately. This is, as you can see, I put a rubber band around my lens to avoid this going in front of the lens, but it's not an issue. It just goes there, so no problem. And I like the kind of light they do, the kind of very good diffuse light on the subject this kind of diffuser gives you. And it also comes with this, thing to attach on the top of the main diffuser. And I thought it wasn't very, I thought it wouldn't change so much the light. In fact, it does a little bit. If you move it like this, or like in this direction, it gives you slightly better rim light from behind the subject, from upper behind of the subject. If you keep it like this, so it doesn't get in the line of the lights, it gives you, the diffuser will give you a better background light on the behind of the subject, on the ground, on the leaves, on the stuff like this. And this is very useful, the one below, because it gives you a really nice light, reflective light from below. So if you have a very three-dimensional subject, you can see some of the belly of the salamander or a snake or something like this. So this is very useful. Another thing that I like of this diffuser is that you don't have to carry a commander, a trigger, stuff like it is all here. So you have a big flash, the camera, the lens. The thing that I don't like about this particular, the Guage or AK, I didn't try the AK, but I know it's kind of the same. I think this is a copy of the AK in some ways. But the thing that I don't like very much about this kind of diffuser is that when you are on the field and you try to be fast and moving from a point to another, and there is rain, and you want to put your camera in the backpack in a fast way, if you have a big backpack like I have, you can unfold the top pouch and put everything inside. But this diffuser can get, of course, broken, no? Because they are made, as I can show you, by all kind of tiny parts. So let me show you how I can dismount this one and how many pieces we have when you have this dismounted. So this is one piece. This is two piece. This is also very stiff and hard to get out. This is the third piece. Four piece. 5. And then we have the main part. With this one, that is also detachable if you want, but you normally can keep it, of course, attached. One thing you can do to be, faster is to keep the main diffuser attached like this. But I'm not sure about the resistance of this piece in the long run. I mean, in months or years even. These things cost a lot. I mean, the main ones are $100 around, or even more. These ones from Amazon, I bought them for like something like 65 euros, something like this, maybe around the $70 average. So this could be a way to pack it fast, to be faster, but you still have these 4 pieces to attach. So this is not the faster way to be ready for photographs. Of course, you can leave it attached to the outside of your backpack, or if you have a big pouch on the top of the backpack, as I have with my Shimoda backpack, for example, you can unfold it and you put just the diffuser with the flash mounted on it in the top pouch of the backpack. It's fine, and you can do that, of course. I did that, of course. But this is another way lately I found. The same brand, the same Guage brand, that I don't find the brand anywhere in the internet except from in Amazon. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It seems like a strange brand, or maybe a private kind of private brand that the market is geared through Amazon. I don't know. But if you are the one like me that loves the MF12 from Godox, lately they came out on Amazon with a new diffuser that I like it very much, and this is this one. This is very new, and it's specifically made for the MF12, not other bigger flashes. So you can only use with MF12. It's still, you have something like 3 pieces. If you don't have to use the reflective one on the top. Of course, it's basically it's 2 main pieces. It's less than the main flash diffusers. Now let me it doesn't matter. You have to attach this here. It's kind of tricky sometimes, but it works. And you're done. And the thing that it does is that it gives you this diffused light, because the flash actually doesn't point on the diffusing material. It points on the roof of the diffuser, as I can show you. And when you photograph, you keep it like this. In fact, in this case, if you have the ring, the plastic ring from the MF12 kit, you can easily use it even without any bracket. You just with the ring, you put the trigger on, no cage, nothing needed, just the camera, the trigger, and one flash attached to the ring, and it works very nicely. I didn't try because I don't have the ring, but I managed to attach this flash in a way that it was mimicking the positioning of the ring, and you get a very nice light, very similar to when you use the Signutech AK diffuser, you name it, of course, those brands. And it's lighter, of course, and it doesn't have much more space on the top of the camera as I can show you. Of course, if you mind the flash like this, you have the diffuser like this. So when you go through leaves, through canopies, and through branches, it stays on the line of the camera. So it's very portable in this way, also very useful in kind of tricky situation in the field. I always try to use them in the field, not in a studio. Of course, in a studio you have plenty of space and you can move objects, no problem. But in the field, it's very useful, this one. And of course, I didn't have, of course, the as I told you, the ring. So I tried to do this, and it also works very nicely. I put my classic bracket. I put this on, and bam, you're ready almost. You're almost ready to photograph. And you can even keep it like this. It doesn't matter if you keep it like this or like this. You don't have very different light. But if you need, you can put like this, of course. In any way, don't worry. It gives you a very nice light. I'm really appreciating this diffuser. It's the first time I see a diffuser like this. Actually, AK diffuser have, they make a diffuser specifically made for the MF12. I tried them, I have them, I bought them from AK. They are nice guys. The guy from AK is very nice as well, like Brendan from Cygnus Tech. And I talked with him a little bit about their diffuser. The problem is that their diffuser are very good for, you know, dental application, like, you know, dentist. But in that case, the flash directly points on the transmitting, diffusing material. So you have the spot. And I don't like it very much. I don't like to see the spotlight and then the diffusing light around. This light is way better, I must say that. I'm sorry guys, but this is the way to go when you want to have, when you need such diffusing light. Of course, it depends on the use, it depends on the situations and so on. Together with this diffuser, you also buy, this made me laugh a little bit. They give you this one of them, and it costs a little bit because it costs the same of the main big diffuser for this one. So it's around 65 euros, let's say $70, $70. That is the average price of that. And the funny thing is that you buy one of these, and they give you this one also. And this is intended to be used with the other MF12 you have, if you have two, like me. Of course, they normally comes in kits with. And you can attach this one to the other flash if you need a second light, you know. And they show you can attach it to the, you know, the GoPro gloves, where you have the attachment for the GoPro, and you put like this. So you have to move your hand around the subject to put the light of the flash. But I didn't try it very much for now. The plastic is good. Is plastic is similar to this one, maybe a little bit thicker. I didn't try this for now, but I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just a piece of plastic. I can show you how it's done. This one is just a gadget they put in the box, but this is the way best the better diffuser. Of course, this is another thing. This is a good diffuser. This is scrap. Basically, this is scrap. This is a piece of plastic, white plastic. You can do this at home, do it yourself. You can copy this shape and cut it as you want, and do the same, even better than this one, because this is little. The actual diffusing surface of this diffuser is tiny. It's like 7 centimeters per 5, something like this. So it's very tiny. It can diffuse the light. You don't have the same harsh light from the straight flash, but I don't like it very much at all. But you know, it's something more they can give you when you buy one of these. And another thing that I like very much, the problem is that I don't only photograph insects. So normally, this is why I use as I told you in another video from me, I use this 50, 60 millimeters macro lenses, not the 90 or 100, because these kind of lenses permits you to photograph a wider range of macro subject. So you can go from a tiny insect, not very tiny, but tiny enough, and you keep the flash like this, for example, very close to the lens, because you are in macro in one to one, no? So the magnification is high, and you have to stay close and around the subject, close to the camera. But if I need to photograph something bigger, something like big like this flash, for example, sorry, all the mess. Let me do like this. If I have to photograph something like this, I just have to stay away from the subject, because it's a big subject, of course. So, for example, in this case, sorry, I will have to stay like, let me see, like this from the subject, to have the whole subject in focus. And let me show you in a proper manner. So this distance is not the good one, in my opinion, to photograph when you use the other kind of diffuser like the Signutech, the AK. This kind of diffuser gives you a very beautiful light, the perfect light, when your subjects are close, like tiny insects, tiny spiders, tiny flowers, and stuff like this. But if you stay away from the subject, even a little bit, this is just a 50 millimeters lens. Think about having a 90 or a 100. I would have stayed something like in this. If I had a 90, for example, I would have had to stay like this to photograph my subject. So I would have to put my flash like this to have the same good diffusing light. So think about that when you are thinking about having some diffusing light for your flashes, for your subject. Always think about what kind of subject I normally photograph. If you are into insects, into spiders, into small things, go for a Signutech, for an AK diffuser, for this kind, because they are very portable. I don't find my diffuser anymore. I throw it away. But if you are kind of that kind of photography mainly, I will go for this. I will go for this, or for one of these with this diffuser and the ring attached to the lens. This is fine. Very portable, very easy to use. With this one, you don't even need the trigger, so perfect. But if you are more mixed in the subject, so you go for insects and then you find a frog and a snake, and you want to photograph a larger area, like you have to photograph maybe a tiny frog, but inside its environment, taking some of the leaves around in light, then go for these setups with two flashes, and maybe this kind of diffuser, or even these ones, because you can have really, really different lights, and you change the way you photograph the subject. You change the way you can see the subject in its environment. So this is something that I will think about if you are figuring out what kind of flash setup you are about to buy and then use for months, for years. This is good stuff. All these Godox flashes, I mentioned the MF12, I use the V860 version 3 from Godox as well, of course. I use the same trigger for all these flashes, so I'm very happy for the system. But they don't come with a nice diffuser. They give you some tiny plastic diffusers for MF12. I like them very much. They are probably the best in the box diffuser you can find when you buy flashes, macro flashes in general, because they have very good plastic, very good diffusing plastic, but they are tiny, so the light is not wide. And on a shiny subject is a mess. It's a problem. It's always a problem with shiny subject or slimy, humid subject like frogs and stuff like this. So you need diffusers for macro, and this is probably at the moment, at least for me, of course, it's just my opinion, the best way to have diffused light for macrophotography. So if I had to put a top 10 or a chart about what I prefer, I still have to test this system in a proper way. I didn't go to the field yet with this. I just bought it. I have it since like 10 days, but I always been at home, not in the field. I tested it on some frogs, as I can show you, but it was in controlled conditions in terrariums. It's not the field, so I will test it better in the next weeks. But as a feeling, this is my winner for the probably next years. If it's the last one to come out in the market, I don't know. Then I will probably go with these ones, the custom-made diffusers. And as a last choice for me, I repeat, for me, I will go for this with the Cygnus-Tech Guadget AK, you name it, diffuser, as I showed you at the start of this video, at the beginning of this video. And as a last note, no one stops you for doing a mixed thing. As I did in my recent trip in Costa Rica, I used this one with the Guadget big diffuser, and then one of the MF12 attached to one single bracket on the background to give some light on the background. So I had the nice diffusing light on the frog, for example, and a ring light from behind, for example, or on the background with this one. So you can do that, of course. It becomes heavier. The whole system is becoming heavier, but it's manageable. I mean, it's not like holding a 600 millimeters f4 doing macro. Of course, it's not the same thing. It's light, of course, light enough. But so you can do that, of course. And I did this, and I like that. I like that very much as well. So I didn't mention that, but yeah, you can do mixed light. So I think I told you everything I wanted to tell you about these systems. Yeah, I think so. So I hope you appreciated my video, even with my English, English. So I hope you understood everything I told you with my English, and see you next time.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you one important thing about the diffuser from Guadget, the one for MF12, that it also comes with this one, with this piece, that is supposed to be attached to the ring of the MF12 system. In fact, you can attach it with these dual locks on the lens itself, and you can get, of course, this kind of diffusing light from below. I already mentioned for the main flash diffusers like the Cygnus-Tech, the AK, and so on. So you still have the below diffusing panel for the MF12 system, as long as the other L-shaped flashes like this. So I forgot to mention that on my video. So I'm adding this with this even worse system light and stuff, but I wanted to have a full coverage of the video. So I'm adding this in the tail of the video, and I hope you are at least appreciate me trying to be as complete as possible on the information. All the best.